Well, we continue our conversations here on CTV and Talk City 91.1 FM. The topic, Creative Kids Easter Egg Hunt, and that is set to kick off on Thursday, 12th April 2018. To tell us all about it, we have the camp coordinator of Creative Kids, Ronelle Boyce. Welcome.
Hi, morning.
So we're having an Easter egg hunt after Easter.
Yeah.
Okay, you could tell us why and also how did the idea come about?
Well, we run a camp. It's an inclusive camp called Creative Kids Inclusive Camp. And the idea came about because we wanted to create more activities for our campers as well as other special needs children across Trinidad and Tobago, and create a space for them where they can interact with typically developing children and have fun and engage with others. So the Easter egg hunt really came about from that slant and that perspective. We really do pride ourselves in trying to include children in typical activities. And the Easter egg hunt was just a fun activity and a fun way to get that started.
Wow. How long has this been ongoing?
We started in 2014. Our first Easter egg hunt was last year, and it was really good. So we decided to just continue it this year and make it an annual event. We also have other events coming up that you guys can look out for.
What are some of those other events?
We are planning a movie night under the stars. We're also planning a treasure hunt. So the treasure hunt will take place for the summer vacation, and the movie night will take place during Christmas.
Now, you mentioned that this started in 2014. What has been the turnout like?
Well, our biggest turnout was in 2015. That was where we actually had a lot of typical kids joining us at our camp with special needs kids. We also catered to special needs adults as well. So we had over about 30 children.
Okay. Also, where does it normally take place, or where will it be taking place?
Well, our Easter egg hunt, it took place last year at QRC. It will be back at QRC this year. Last year we had children from YMCA and members of the public as well as our camp. So that's what made it such a big turnout.
Right. So you have kids with special needs being
Yes.
able to interact with other children.
Yes.
How successful has this been?
It has been actually really successful because throughout the time we kind of tell or make it known that, hey, children exist and everybody's different. And it's about accepting, inclusion is a human rights issue.
Yeah.
And it's not that we want them to fit into society because we all want to stand out. We want them to feel like they belong within society, and they do have different talents and they are creative and they can share that with other people. And I mean, during the Easter egg hunt, they did make friends. Some of the kids from YMCA were interacting with our kids, and it was amazing to see. Yeah.
What ages do you all normally have?
We cater from as little as 3, and we go to adult.
Okay, and parents are also invited to
parents
this
are
event. How
invited.
beneficial has it been for parents, particularly? I know support is a huge thing.
It has been very difficult because we have been trying to push the event to make it as inclusive as possible. But last year we didn't have as high of a parent turnout rate. A lot of parents, they weren't really, accepting the fact that we had special needs kids out there. But this year we actually have sold quite a bit of tickets. And parents have asked questions, and they are very interested to have their children interact with special needs.
How challenging is it for a parent with a special need child?
Oh, very. I've been teaching in special ed for about 6 years this year. And so I've dealt with children from autism, high functioning, low functioning, Down syndrome, children who are physically disabled, Angelman syndrome. It has been very difficult, especially with the support aspect and knowing where to turn to in terms of getting that support. I mean, there are networks that, like the Down Syndrome Family Network and Autism Spirit, that parents can go to get that support, but some people don't have the necessary support for their child. I mean, even if you look at a child with autism and they're low functioning, it is very, very difficult So when they come to school, we try to put measures in place at school and for the parent at home to follow through. So it can become a little bit easier for them. And we also try to tell them, okay, well, there are these therapies that are available that you should try to get your child involved in, but also the therapies, they come at a cost, you know? So
You're also a special needs teacher.
yes.
Where do you teach?
Academy for Special Needs.
How many special needs institutions do we have that you're aware of?
About 20, I believe.
Okay. Well, because we just spoke about that as well, and I think what we observed was that it's inadequate at this time in terms of the amounts of students that we have.
Yes.
It is
And
really
even the staff, because there is a high prevalence of special needs kids in our country, you know, ranging from all different disabilities. And the thing about it is you do need to be hands-on. You do need to have the staff available, trained, and that's most important, and willing. Special needs is not only about teaching. You actually have to have a passion for it and a passion to actually seeing the small steps that are big steps for me. You know, when a child got potty trained that I've been training for years, I rallied around the entire school. I was like excited and telling everybody because that is something amazing that this child couldn't do to see that they could do now. So I think training is, you know, really important. We do need to have a lot more people trained, and investments and policies go a long way.
Yeah. What was your experience like? Where did you train?
I did my degree at University of the West Indies. I actually started with my certificate in early childhood, went on to my bachelor's in early childhood, and now I'm doing my master's in special ed and inclusion. I taught in primary schools and a preschool, and I thought that's where I wanted to be, but something always felt like it was missing. Then I went to work in a special needs camp, and my mind changed from there. And I started working there the next academic year, and I just never looked back.
This is a passion to
Yes.
help children
Yes.
and even parents. Do you see a lot of people being drawn to this field?
We do. I know that there's a program in UTT as well, and the program in UE just started back last year when I started, or last 2 years. There is a passion for it. I know there's a drive for it, but the placement, in terms of the placement, there's a lack of placement. You know, we do have, I have worked alongside others who did their degree and they're working in primary school and feel stuck because, you know, we have hidden disabilities in our classrooms, and they feel like they can't help them based on administration or their colleagues. So it's always like one step forward, 100 steps back sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that was actually my next question. How trained are teachers in the regular school system to identify whether a child has learning disabilities or autism or whatever the case is? And if they are not recognized, as you said, they may be hidden. Do we just continue teaching the syllabus?
Oh, that's a very tricky question because there are some teachers that are trained, yes. And it's not to say we can pinpoint a child and say, because you have ADHD or you have autism. You can look for the signs, talk to the parent, talk to your administrator or your principal, and work to suit. I know that the student support services, they do help, and you have to fill out a form in terms of if you want to get a child assessed, because you're seeing all these red flags. But it is difficult for us, especially if we have a class of 30-something children we have to cater to. You know, it is very, very easy if we don't have somebody else in the classroom who is trained, like a special ed teacher, for collaboration to help in that area and to pinpoint, okay, well, this child is having a problem. What intervention can we put in place to best help this child succeed?
Yes. You mentioned high functioning and low functioning. Could you tell us what that means?
So high functioning will be like the child who can do work. So they can do their math, their language. It's very easy for them to understand. Now, if you're talking about an autistic child, there can be an autistic child who's very good at math and who is potty trained and, you know, is self-sufficient. And then you have the special needs child who may not be as self-sufficient. So they're still in Pampers, they need help to eat, they need help to bathe, just simple life skills tasks that we take for granted, they may need help with.
Yeah. Okay, so just to remind us, the Easter egg hunt is on Thursday, 12th April.
Yes.
Where can we get tickets?
We do have committee members that are delivering tickets, so you can just get onto our Facebook page, Creative Kids Inc. TT, and you can look for the event. All of the numbers are there.
Okay, great. Closing comments. Would you like to say to those looking on, wondering if they should be part of this event?
It will be an amazing event. We do have Bouncy Castle's face painters, a photo booth. We have drinks like juices, waters. Everything will be free. The only thing that we're selling is food. We have hot dogs and fries that will be available for no more than $15. So come out with your friends, your family, your kids. It will be an amazing event. I'm telling you, better than last year.
Oh, thank you so much, Ronelle Boyce. A pleasure
Thank
chatting with
you.
you, camp coordinator there of Creative Kids.